Look at Monday morning, Alaska. We have been talking about these cold conditions that have been across the state last week. That's when we saw the biggest chill that we've seen so far this season. Now, as we transition into a brand new week, we've got some warmer conditions that's spreading across the state. This is also leading to many areas out towards southwest Alaska, where in addition to some snow and winds, we could see some localized areas of rain and snow, which will stick around through at least the middle of the week. Even here in South Central, we've got some ongoing snow chances through the overnight hours into this morning. We did pick up some of that light snowfall accumulation, and we'll still keep with that chance for some passing snow showers throughout the day. We still got a winter weather advisory actually just expired out towards East Turnagain Arm, where we have been holding on to a rain snow mix. Good news is not as cold this week for those who don't like that bitter cold, but we're still tapping into some of those chillier conditions as you head through the interior and locations north of the Brooks Range. That's where we're still holding on to some of the coldest conditions across the state. Meanwhile, notice out towards southwest Alaska, temperatures this morning already pushing above freezing. This is where we're going to see some localized areas of rain and snow sticking around in the forecast. And here in South Central, you can see those temperatures are also warming. We are in the 20s this morning. This is a far cry from those single digits and teens that we did see last week. Even some parts of South Central managed to drop below zero last week. This week, though, is going to be a different story as those temperatures continue to warm about 10 degrees above where we were sitting at last week. So we do have a localized area of low pressure across parts of South Central that is keeping some light snow for inland areas and a rain snow mix as you head out towards Prince William Sound. And then that area of low pressure out towards Nunivak Island. That is leading to some gusty winds out towards the Kuskokwim Delta coastline. Now, there is a coastal flood advisory out towards Kipnuk as we are expected to see those water levels 1.5 to 3 feet above the normal highest tide. And the high tide is right at 9 a.m. or occurring as we speak. So that's where we're going to see that best potential for some coastal flooding. Now, winds themselves will impact a large portion of western and southwest Alaska. Not as too terribly strong this morning out towards Gamble. Winds are gusting up to 41 miles per hour. We'll see that potential if you live out towards Gamble, St. Lawrence, that winds could gust anywhere from 60 to 65 miles per hour throughout the day. That's adding on to with some snow that will fall, which will lead to some lowering visibility. Now, the rest of western Alaska, from the Seward Peninsula down towards parts of the Yukon Delta and through southwest Alaska, we're going to see winds of about 30 to 50 miles per hour. That will still lead to some blowing snow and reduced visibility, but winds won't be as strong as what we will see for Gamble, St. Lawrence. So those winds, not very broad, but we will see some localized areas of some gusty conditions, which will carry us into our Tuesday. So be prepared for some of that blowing snow, some drifting snow, as well as that reduced visibility if you are going to be out and about. As that system kind of fizzles out, we've got another low that's going to build into the Bering Sea, eastern Bering Sea, as well as the Aleutians. This will reinforce the warm conditions across the state and lead to additional rounds of rain and snow that's going to impact parts of southwest Alaska. So for the remainder of today, we'll keep with some light snow showers for inland areas of South Central. If you live out towards Prince William Sound, a rain snow mix to be expected. And of course, if you're going to be driving through Thompson Pass, be prepared for the likelihood that we could see the potential for about 5 to 10 inches of snowfall accumulation with some locally heavier amounts. But there's that low out towards Nunivak Island is going to continue to build off towards the northeast very slowly. Some of the heaviest snowfall accumulation will occur through the Seward Peninsula, and these warnings are in effect and advisories are in effect until Wednesday. So Seward Peninsula, that winter storm warning, 8 to 12 inches of snow accumulation for you. Now, from the northwest Arctic borough down towards the Yukon Delta and southwest Alaska, where we're seeing winter weather advisories, it's going to be some heavy snow as well, but amounts are going to be about 4 to 8 inches. So not as heavy as what areas of the Seward Peninsula will see. And again, that kind of fizzles out by midweek, and then another storm reinforces those wet and windy conditions across western and southwest Alaska. So we're going to continue to see this uptick in active weather. Now, no storm that we're watching is looking to bring any significant impacts outside of what we're currently talking about. And you can see through the end of this week, or at least by the middle to the end of this week, we'll continue to favor ongoing waves of moisture that will push into South Central as well. Now, the big question is going to be, will we see a lot of that pushing into inland areas of South Central? I think we'll stay on the drier side. We'll still see that potential for about 1 to 3 inches of snow accumulation through the middle of the week for inland areas. Coastal regions, this is where we're going to see a rain snow mix, which could prove problematic on those roads with those temperatures temperatures, particularly last week, which were very cold across south central. So be prepared for some of those hazardous road conditions that will be a concern through the pass along Turnagain Arm and of course some of those higher elevations. So that snow accumulation through midweek across the state. You can see heaviest amounts will occur across western Alaska, and again areas north of Nome through the inner parts of the Seward Peninsula. This is where we're going to be watching that potential for up to a foot of snowfall accumulation. That is where we're looking likely going to be the hardest hit areas with snowfall through the rest of this week. And of course the Chugach range will also tap into some of that heavier snowfall potential as well. So with this active and warm weather, notice Bethel, that 7-day forecast, those temperatures will stay right around freezing, if not into the mid to upper 30s. So that means we'll see snow chances into the night and early mornings, and as those temperatures warm, we'll see a transition to some likely chance of rain and snow, which will carry us through Wednesday. Beyond Wednesday, temperatures begin to take a downward turn once more, back into the mid to upper 20s. Still fairly warm for this time of year for southwest Alaska, but we are going to see the warmer conditions that we're taking hold of for the first part of this week to really kind of cool off later this week. So near freezing here across south central with that light snow that will remain with us. And of course locally you can see when it comes to that snow accumulation, nothing of concern. About 1 to 3 inches from Anchorage down through the Kenai into the valley, with some locally heavier amounts across western parts of the Susitna Valley. And when we're looking at our model trends, we've got some that are showing just a few hundredths of an inch, with one outlier showing upwards of about 3 inches of snow accumulation. So we're going to be within that realm of about 1 to 3 inches, although most locations will likely fall on the lower spectrum of that, unless you live in western parts of the Susitna Valley, which will deal with some heavier snow accumulation. North of Seward, as you head through Moose Pass, Turnagain Pass, you'll certainly see some higher snowfall totals, and then out towards Thompson Pass. But as far as the main populated areas across south central, nothing of significant concern with this snow that we are going to see through the middle of the week. Very light at that. 1 to 3 inches, again, on the lower end of that is where most locations will be. Temperatures stay near freezing for the foreseeable future. Some locations out towards the coast will likely stay in the mid to upper 30s, if not some lower 40s here over the next couple of days. So warmer weather is with us. Average high as we head into the middle of November is right around 28 to 29 degrees. So our temperatures are warm across south central, and for many locations it's about 10 degrees warmer than that cold that we did see last week. Now, notice by week's end, we kind of see this active stormy pattern kind of die down some, and that's going to drive allow for some cooler conditions to spill back in across south central as we drop back down near seasonal values with highs in the upper 20s, overnight lows in the teens and 20s. But for now, we are still holding on to that active weather for areas out towards western Alaska. Stay tuned to Alaska's news source as we continue to track these storms, as well as the impacts that we're going to see across western Alaska. Enjoy the sunshine breaks we have here across south central. If you live in the interior, not much going on. You may see some light snow throughout the week, but largely expecting a mix of sun and clouds, with daily highs for you in Fairbanks and surrounding locations to stay in the teens and possibly lower 20s. Make sure you have a great Monday. If you are heading outdoors, be safe on those roadways as you could encounter some slick spots.